Dear learners, I am Dr. Shweta Tripathi, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering, School of Engineering and Technology, Indira Gandhi National Open University, in New Delhi. I welcome you all in the MOOCs of Energy Resources and Conversion Process, and in this module we are going to discuss ocean thermal energy. The learning outcomes of this module is to understand the ocean thermal energy, to describe the working principle of ocean thermal energy, conversion technologies, and to classify various types of ocean thermal energy conversion processes, and to discuss the relative advantage and disadvantages of ocean thermal energy conversion, and to the knowledge of applications of these ocean thermal energy conversion. The ocean covers a little more than 70% of the Earth's surface. This makes them world's largest solar energy collector and energy storage system. On an average day, 60 million square kilometers, that is 23 million square miles of tropical sea absorb an amount of solar radiation equal in heat content to about 250 billion barrels of oil. Various parties estimated the amount of energy that can be practically harvested to be in the order of 3 to 5 terawatts without affecting the temperature of the ocean of the world's environment. That's about twice the global electricity demand. The oceans are thus a vast renewable resource. The technology is viable primarily in equatorial areas where the year-round temperature differential is at least 20 degrees Celsius. If we see in the figure, the region in orange colors are suitable for ocean thermal energy conversion. Apart from the producing electricity, ocean thermal energy conversion also offers the possibility of co-generating other products like efficient seawater, air conditioning, fresh water, and nutrients for enhanced fish farming and algae production. Ocean thermal energy conversion is a method for generating electricity which uses the temperature difference that exists between deep and shallow waters. This conversion process produces electricity from the natural thermal gradient of the ocean using the heat stored in warm surface water to create steam to drive a turbine, while pumping cold, deep water to the surface to recondense the steam. The temperature difference between warm surface water and cold deep water must be greater than 20 degrees centigrade for ocean thermal energy conversion system to produce significant power. Let us see the history of this ocean thermal energy conversion. In 1881, Astronomer, a French scientist, first proposed the tapping this thermal energy of the ocean. Then Georges Claude built an experimental open cycle ocean thermal energy conversion system which produced about 22 kilowatt electricity. Then in 1956, French researchers designed a 3 megawatt open ocean thermal energy conversion unit at Africa's west coast. It was too expensive and they quit the project, and then in 1979 the first 50 kilowatt closed cycle ocean thermal energy conversion demonstration plant went up at Nela, known as Mini Ocean Thermal Energy Conversion. Then in 1980, US Department of Energy built Ocean Thermal OTEC-1 And in 1981, Japan demonstrated a shore-based 100 kilowatt closed cycle plant, and they used freon as working fluid and titanium shell and tube exchanger was used. Then in 1984, Solar Energy Research Institute developed a vertical evaporator to convert warm seawater into low pressure steam for open cycle plants. In March 2013, Saga University with various Japanese industries completed the installation of a new ocean thermal energy conversion plant and announced the start of the ocean thermal energy conversion operation testing at Mile Island on April 15, 2013. In India, if we talk about the ocean thermal energy conversion process and its potential, so we know that India is geographically well placed. As far as the ocean thermal energy conversion potential is concerned, around 2000 km of coast length along the South Indian coast, a temperature difference above 20 degrees centigrade throughout the year is available. More than 1 lakh square kilometers of tropical water is available in the exclusive economic zone around India, which is having power density of 0.2 megawatt per kilometer square. Apart from this, the attractive ocean thermal energy conversion plant locations are available around Lakshadweep, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. It means India has an opportunity to develop the ocean thermal energy conversion for India. Considering this, an MOU was signed in 1997 between NIOT and Saga University, Japan for joint development of ocean thermal energy conversion in India. NIOT then conducted a detailed surveys at the proposed ocean thermal energy conversion site near Tuticorin, South India. Based on the temperature and bathymetric profiles, the optimization of the closed loop systems was done with the help of Saga University late in 1998. Considering the future need of large plants, it was decided to design a floating ocean thermal energy conversion plant. NIOT decided to build a 1 megawatt floating ocean thermal energy conversion plant off the coast of Tamil Nadu near Tuticorin port on the southeast coast of India, which is generally free of cyclones. NIOT planned to shift the same plant to Andaman and Nicobar Islands for power generation, and it was a stepping stone for the proposed 10 to 25 megawatt range shore mounted power plants. The experience from 1 megawatt floating ocean thermal energy conversion plant could be scaled up for the construction of 100 megawatt range commercial plants in the nearby future, but with the foreign winter closing down its operation, it had to be abandoned. India's maiden ocean thermal energy conversion projects is coming up in Kavaratti, capital of the Lakshadweep, off the southwestern coast after almost 3.5 decades of the initial plans. The plant in Lakshadweep is a land-based since deep water is available close by for mainland and offshore platform mounted plant moored in deep waters will be needed. And why do we need ocean thermal energy conversion plants? It is because the fossil fuels in near future will be consumed, so we have to find some alternative source. It is a clean energy source, it is a renewable energy source, and it uses renewable solar collector instead of artificial collector. It can be used to produce desalined water also. Now, what is ocean thermal energy conversion technology? This is the technology that converts solar radiation into electric power. If we talk about the ocean thermal energy conversion, hydroenergy conversion, it is an hydroenergy conversion system which uses ocean's natural thermal gradient, and it is the fact that ocean's layers of water have different temperatures and it is similar to as a heat engine. Ocean layers of water have different temperatures to drive a power producing cycle as long as the temperature between the warm surface water and the cold deep water differs by 20 degrees centigrade. It is generally based on Rankine cycle, and Rankine cycle is a thermodynamic cycle which converts heat into work through a heat engine. It uses the vertical temperature gradient in the ocean as a heat source or sink. Then comes the working principle of ocean thermal energy conversion plants. The temperature differences generally increases with decreasing latitude. In the tropics, thereby mainly used in equatorial waters where temperature difference is greatest. Ocean thermal energy conversion uses the ocean's warm surface water with a temperature of around 25 degrees centigrade to vaporize a working fluid which has generally low boiling point, for example, ammonia. The vapor expands and spins a turbine coupled to a generator to produce electricity. This vapor is then cooled by seawater that has been pumped from the deep ocean layer where the temperature is about 5 degrees centigrade. That condenses the working fluid back into a liquid so it can be reused. This is a continuous electricity generating cycle. The efficiency of the cycle is strongly determined by the temperature differential. The bigger the temperature difference, the higher the efficiency will be. The technology is therefore viable primarily in equatorial areas where the year-round temperature differential is at least 20 degrees centigrade. Then the classification of these systems. On the basis of cycle, these systems are classified as closed cycle system, open cycle system, and hybrid cycle system. This open and closed cycle system can operate either on the shore, that is land based, or out at sea, floating or grazing type. Both have relative advantages and disadvantages which we will consider in our next discussion. Land-based ocean thermal energy conversion plants are constructed on the shoreline with 4 large hot and cold pipelines dipping down into the sea, a hot water input, a hot water output, a cold water input, and a cold water output, just like heat exchangers. Unfortunately, the shoreline construction makes them more susceptible to problems like coastal erosion and damage from hurricanes and other storms. Then sea-based ocean thermal energy conversion plants. These are essentially the same but have to be constructed on some sort of tethered floating platform, not unlike a floating oil platform, with the 4 pipes running down into the sea. Early prototypes were run from converted oil tankers and barges. They also need a cable running back to land to send the electrical power they generate ashore. Then there are some hybrid forms also. The ocean thermal energy conversion plants form is built at some distance offshore on the continental shelf which would share some of the advantages of land-based ocean thermal energy conversion, which is stability and durability, closeness to the shore, and so on. And it will also have some advantages of floating ocean thermal energy conversion, which is opportunity to exploit a greater temperature gradient, so generating power more efficiently. So we use the hybrid forms also. Now comes the open cycle ocean thermal energy conversion process. In open cycle ocean thermal energy conversion, the seawater is itself used to generate heat without any kind of intermediate fluid. At the surface of the ocean, hot seawater is turned to steam by reducing its pressure. Here we have to remember that a liquid can be made to change its state into a gas either by increasing its temperature or reducing its pressure. This stream drives a turbine and generates electricity. The similar process is in closed cycle also for generating electricity. Before being condensed back to water using cold water piped up from the ocean depth. One of the very interesting byproducts of this method is that heating and condensing seawater removes its salt and other impurities, so the water that leaves the plant is pure and salt-free. That means open cycle thermal energy conversion plants can develop as desalination plants, purifying water either for drinking supplies or for irrigating crops. That's a very useful added benefit in hot tropical countries that may be short of fresh water. The seawater is itself used to generate heat without any kind of intermediate fluid. At the surface of the ocean, hot seawater is turned to steam by reducing its pressure. The steam drives a turbine and generates electricity as in closed cycle ocean thermal energy conversion. Before being condensed back to water using cold water piped up from the ocean depth. One of the very interesting byproducts of this method is that heating and condensing seawater removes the salt and other impurities so that the water is pure and salt-free. Then comes the closed cycle ocean thermal energy conversion system. In this, the pipe flows through a heat exchanger fixed in the hot surface waters of the ocean, which makes the ammonia boil and vaporize. The heated ammonia vapor expands and blows through a turbine, which extracts some of its energy, driving a generator to produce electricity. Once the ammonia has expanded, it passes through a second heat exchanger, which cools water pumped up from the ocean depths and condenses it back to a liquid so it can be recycled. The function of ammonia is same as the function of the coolant in a refrigerator, which is also designed to pick up heat from one place and carry it elsewhere using a closed loop cycle. It is similar to the refrigerator, as refrigerator pick up heat from the chiller cabinet and carry it to the room outside. In ocean thermal energy conversion, the ammonia picks up heat from the hot surface ocean waters just as the coolant chemical picks up heat from the chiller component. It carries it to a turbine where much of its energy is extracted and is then condensed back to a liquid so it can run around the loop for more heat, just as coolant in a refrigerator is compressed and cooled in the fins around the back of the machine. Now the advantages of closed cycle ocean thermal energy conversion plant. The size of the plant is lower in closed cycle compared to the open cycle because of high running pressure of 9 to 16 bar. Cost of energy generation is reduced in closed cycle and the efficiency is higher. Corrosion on turbine and other parts is avoided as the secondary fluid boils at temperature available in hot water and doesn't require vacuum pump. The fabrication of a steam turbine is easier than a large turbine used in open cycle. Then comes the hybrid cycle. It is the combination of the features of both the closed cycle and open cycle system. In a hybrid open ocean thermal energy conversion system cycle, warm seawater enters a vacuum chamber which it is flash evaporated into steam, which is similar to the open cycle evaporation process. The steam vaporizes the working fluid of a closed cycle loop on the other side of an ammonia vaporizer. The vaporized fluid then drives a turbine that produces electricity. The steam condenses within the heat exchanger and provides desalinated water. The advantages. The ocean thermal energy conversion plants are environmental friendly. It can provide useful environment in areas bordering on tropical seas. It can produce electricity without giving off any carbon dioxide and do it for a long period. The additional products, that is food, potable water, air conditioning, etc., which can readily be provided. Potable water production alone can reduce electrical generating cost by up to 1/3 and is itself in very considerable demand in most areas where ocean thermal energy conversion can operate. The cold seawater is rich in nutrients and can be utilized for power plants, for water plants, or for aquaculture used to increase the production. The thermal resource of the ocean ensures that the power source is available day or night and with only modest variation from summer to winter. Disadvantages of ocean thermal energy conversion, or we can say the limitations of ocean thermal energy conversion, which are the major reason why these ocean thermal energy conversion systems are not popular, are not in use. The major disadvantage is the power cost is more, and the construction and pipe length generally affects the marine ecosystem. The closed cycle open thermal energy conversion can cause the pollution if intermediate chemicals leak into the ocean. The heat exchangers, both evaporator and condenser, must be made of highly conductive materials which increase their capital cost. The marine environment gets affected by these plants through water heating. The release of toxic chemical and entrapment of small sea organisms in intake pipes is common. Thermal layer of seawater near the plants get disturbed because of the discharge of low and high water at intermediate level. The marine life gets affected because of change in pH value and dissolved oxygen. The applications of ocean thermal energy conversion system. A closed cycle ocean thermal energy conversion plant can also act as chemical treatment plant. The enclosing area can be used for aquaculture and mariculture. The deep sea cold water is rich in nutrient and can be used for various applications. and the desalinated water, which can be used for irrigation and could be utilized by the human as well. Let us summarize whatever we have discussed. We have discussed that the technology that converts solar radiation into electrical power is ocean thermal energy conversion. In this technology, hydro energy conversion system, which uses ocean's natural thermal ingredient. The fact that the ocean's layer of water have different temperatures is similar to run a heat engine. It is based on Rankine cycle. It is a thermodynamic cycle which converts heat into work through a heat engine. It uses the vertical temperature gradient in the ocean as a heat source or sink, and the temperature differences generally increases with decreasing latitude in the tropics, thereby mainly used in equatorial waters where temperature difference is greatest. A large country like India with a long coastline, it is a very good alternative source of energy, and it could be a feasible option to generate electricity in India. We have discussed the open cycle ocean thermal energy conversion system, and this system relies on a low pressure environment to actually boil the ocean water and create steam. When warm ocean water moves into a low pressure environment, it will boil. The steam is almost pure water as the salt and other impurities are left behind. The steam then recirculates and condenses back to water. The warm seawater is flash evaporated in vacuum chamber at an absolute pressure of 2.4 kilopascal. Steam expands over a low pressure turbine and the generator produces the electricity. The open cycle plant needs very large size turbine because of large volume of steam at low pressure, approximately at 0.002 bar. The average pump work is required in open cycle, and the plant has to handle very large quantity of warm and cold water because of low water temperature difference. We have also discussed the closed cycle ocean thermal energy conversion plant. Here the warm seawater vaporizes with a working fluid, which is generally ammonia, flowing through a heat exchanger. The vapor expands at moderate pressures and turns a turbine coupled to generator that produces electricity. This vapor is then condensed in another heat exchanger using cold seawater pumped from the ocean depths through a cold water pipe. The condensed working fluid is pumped back to the evaporator to repeat the cycle. The working fluid remains in a closed system and circulates continuously. We have also discussed the relative advantages and limitations of ocean thermal energy conversion system. Thank you very much.